Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look at the new Bulgarian Slabside 5.56 AK magazines. These are commercial mags made by ISD in Bulgaria. ISD is well known for their other AK magazines they make, specifically their AK-74 mags. These are probably the best budget AK-74 mags you can get because they're like 15 bucks. And similarly, these are in the same price point with the same feature set. So what we have is fully reinforced front, rear, and feed lips. And it's not just a weird alloy like AC Unity uses, it's actually steel reinforced. So it's magnetized and should be quite a bit more durable. So they also have reinforcing in the spine of the magazine, which is good. It is reinforced in all the right places. The polymer feels pretty okay. It's got a little bit of flex. Not too bad, but definitely a little bit, which is to be expected. One thing about these is they are definitely made for Bulgarian spec 5.56 AK. So if you have a Circle 10 5.56 AK magazine, I think that you can expect the same fitment results from these because dimensionally, they are very similar. And for me, they absolutely fit basically the same way, which is to say, extra tight in my ZPAPs. There was definitely some wearing in that had to happen. I know some guys can't really get these to work in their ZPAPs. And so if that is you, skip these. But if you can get these to work, then I think that these can be made to work very similarly. Especially for like a third the price, which is pretty good. Obviously, these are better, I think. The polymer is a bit more rigid and it has, the reinforcing, which I think has some value. And it actually has the stripper clip loading grooves in this one that is missing from the 5.56 AK magazine, even though it is present on their AK-74 mags, which is interesting. I guess that makes sense, but something to note. That being said, I did get this to fit, feed, and function in my ZPAPs. So it was a little bit tight and it still is a little bit tight. There's definitely not much movement in this magazine in the magwell in the M90, but it did work well, as you can see here. Similarly, it worked well in my M85. I will say that my M85 is a bit looser than my M90, so it definitely fits better and has no issues inserting or extracting. So that's good. It did take a few repetitions of, insertion and removal, especially on the M90 to wear down the back of the feed lips where it was wanting to catch. But once that was done, it was good. I didn't have to break out any tools specifically, but there was a little bit of wear in that had to happen. So, yeah, it's a little tight. The Beryl is a similar story. I did get it to function, although it was a little bit tight, and it still is a little bit tight, and it is a bit more loose. Like there's a bit more play and wobble in the magwell, as well as some front to back play, which I don't think is really the best, but then again, it wasn't designed for the Polish spec, it was designed for the Bulgarian spec. It can be made to work, though I don't think it's perfectly optimized. It is a bit weird in that if you try to remove it and you like pull down on it and then try to pull it out, it hangs on something and then it's kind of a bit difficult to get out. It's like if you push the mag forward as you try to pull it out, the angles don't really work and it wants to catch on something, you kind of gotta pop it out. But it definitely is a little bit tight in my Beryl, although it did work, so take that for what it's worth. I don't know if it's specifically related to Polish spec, but I know Clayco had a lot of trouble getting these to run in his Pioneer machine gun. But yeah, something to keep in mind. I know he didn't have good luck with these. I did. I think results may vary, but It'll depend upon your previous experience mixing Polish and Bulgarian specs. But as cheap as these are, I think it was like $15, maybe $17. It's worth picking up at least one just to see if it works for you. And if it does, then great. If it doesn't, then you're not out too much, and now you know. So I'm glad to see these available. I think that sub $20 range mag niche that was previously occupied by AC Unity, I think that if these work for you, that these are probably better than the AC Unity. They don't feel as flimsy and flexible. They feel like they have a bit more body to them, which is good. I also like that they're simplistic in their look. They have a bit more of a classic look, which I appreciate. The only other thing I wanted to do was to compare a little bit to the Palmetto State Armory 5.56 AK magazine. Now these are also surprisingly good, but they are about $25. But at least on paper, they're basically very, very similar as far as feature set, steel reinforced in all the right places, slab side, fairly universal fit in that it's at least the smaller like AK-74 style width, so it will fit in most things. I think that these are the closest contender to these, but these being a third cheaper, that's going to be hard to beat, honestly. But hey, competition is good. So either way, I'm glad to see these available, and I'm pretty happy with the two that I picked up. So hopefully this was informative. Hopefully you found some useful data points here and that you can make some more informed decisions yourself. I appreciate you tuning in today, and I will see you next time. One other thing I wanted to rant about is the inconsistency of the Bulgarians and their magazine production. So from Circle 10, for some reason, we have a 30 and a 40 round 7.62x39 mag. We have a 30 and a 45 round AK-74 5.45 mag, and we have a 30 and 20 round 5.56 magazine. Why they felt the need to give us this guy, I'm not entirely positive. I would much rather the 45 round version, but that does not appear to exist. So I don't know why they do things the way they do, but that is specifically Circle 10. But ISD is also inconsistent, but in different ways. So they have the just feed lips reinforced version of the 30 round 7.62 as well as 5.45 versions, as well as the front and rear locking lug and feed lips reinforced version of both of the mags. They skipped the just feed lips reinforced version for the 5.56, which I appreciate, I like. I would rather pay $2 or $3 extra and get, you know, full reinforcing just from the get-go and be done with it. And then they also offer a 40 round version of their 7.62x39 mag, but that's the only high capacity magazine that they offer. Hopefully, obviously with their expression of interest in the 5.56 AK magazine market, they will also introduce a 45 round 5.56 AK magazine. That'd be great. Somebody needs to do it. I'm just begging you guys, somebody do it. At least it seems that we're getting some backfill in the holes in that catalog. So yeah, that's my rant about Bulgarians and their somewhat inconsistent production, and my plea to the market to please backfill the need for a new production, high quality, relatively inexpensive 40 to 45 round 5.56 AK magazine. Thank you.